Good morning, New Yorkers. Looking for another beautiful day here in the city. New clouds to start us off.
So, Spider-Man Brand New Day. It's been out for 2 weeks now, breaking records and very close to surpassing $2 billion. Yes, $2 billion with a B, not an M, $2 billion at the box office. So I believe enough time has passed where everyone's probably watched the movie by now. I hope you've watched the movie. This is going to be a spoiler review. I'm first going to recap it, then I'm going to give my likes and dislikes. Then I'm going to talk about a few of the next projects that Marvel has coming up to do with Spider-Man as well. And I'll be giving my rating out of 10. So yeah, let's just talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day. Act 1, Isolation and Mind. After the events of No Way Home, everyone has forgotten Peter Parker is Spider-Man. This loneliness makes him fully embrace the spider in his name without the man. He fights villains like Tombstone and Scorpion, which, those villains, so underrated. I feel like we need more of them, for real. And pretty early on in the movie, we get Spider-Man teaming up with the Punisher chasing the tank. I think that was one of the first previews that we saw of the movie, so that was pretty cool. And we get our first look at the main villain, who they're trying to keep a mystery for now, but it is Jean Grey. And it's kind of crazy. She jumps around in everyone's mind across the whole of New York, and it's like, in a second, just a millisecond even, a nanosecond, just you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine. It don't matter who you are, except if you're Spider-Man, because she couldn't jump in Peter's mind because, he's Spider-Man, the heightened senses of superpowers. She just couldn't do it. And Peter at this point has been lonely for years now, so he's on his Joe Goldberg shit, stalking MJ and Ned, goes to their house, sees Ned's bored on trying to figure out who Spider-Man is, because they actually remember Spider-Man and him being there, saving them in the first movies like Homecoming and Far From Home, but they have like no recollection of Peter whatsoever. They just know Spider-Man was there, and he saved their lives, and now they're trying to figure out who he is, or at least Ned really is, because MJ, she's moved on with a new romance, and Peter sees this, and he goes on this swing through the city at nighttime. At some point, you kind of just stop swinging, just lets himself drop on the ground, like he just falling, he just gave up. It's beautiful scene, but dark, very, very dark. So that's the end of Act 1. Act 2, Mutation and Body. So now we get on to the more exciting bit of Spider-Man's new powers. So kind of like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, where, his Peter Parker was going through some things, just a bad life in general, and then but his powers decreased, he was losing his powers. But with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, he actually gains powers, and he gains it so much that it goes out of control. He literally can't control it. He's very, very sensitive to all stimuli. Just let's say a truck passing on the street, he hears it very, very loudly. Can't control it. It's just going crazy basically. And the way he wakes up is I think it's the night after he sees MJ with her new romance. So I think that kind of just snapped his mental state, his sanity. And he wakes up in just a room of webs, in this trap house looking place. And, you also get the, I think we saw in the trailers, the scene where, he was mutating and kind of drops down and boom, organic webs. Like Toby as well. So what's his solution to this? Well, he seeks out Bruce Banner, aka Dr. Banner, aka the Hulk, for a DNA inhibitor, because Bruce Banner's always constantly trying to have the Hulk under control. So to be honest, pretty good shout if you want to get advice on how to control your powers. Kind of, maybe. I mean, he hasn't really been so successful in the past, but I guess he's right now. So Jean Grey is finally revealed. As Sadie Sink, I think pretty much everyone knew that. That was just the main theory, and it was true. And she does something crazy, this Jean Grey. She basically mind controls MJ and then convinces Peter that MJ remembers him, as in Jean Grey controlling MJ, and she has this moment with Peter oh, I love you, and they kiss, and then, Jean was just nah, it's just me. Nah, she don't remember you, G. And then throws off a fucking building. That was crazy too. But luckily, Tom is not Andrew, so he's able to save her from falling. Too soon? Nah, not too soon. I mean, Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out like 12 years ago, so yeah, this is not soon at all. She also possesses Scorpion, which Spider-Man just makes light work of him, and the Hulk, which wasn't so easy. But cinematography on those fight scenes, especially when they were in the hallway and the camera was like kind of like turning, it was like, that shit was so crazy. I loved that part. I was like, yes, this is how you do cinematography, this is how you do camera work. And the Punisher was also there, and that was funny because he's just a guy with guns. So going against the Hulk, he was shook. He was very shook at it. Jean's main target is actually the Department of Damage Control. And so Spider-Man and Punisher, thinking they're on the right side, which we come to find out later on, we'll get to that they're not, helps the Department of Damage Control, and they capture Jean Grey finally. Oh, actually, forgot to mention, she also not only mind controls the Hulk, but mind controls the Punisher as well. And she kind of makes a joke where like, you are seriously messed up, like seeing all his memories and shit. And finally, I think the maybe the most depressing part of, like comedically depressing in a way, it's just like, it's so depressing that you want to laugh, but it is actually so sad, is, Pete finally tells MJ, yeah, we used to know each other. I'm Spider-Man, and they have a conversation, but by the end of it, MJ says, I don't know you. You saved a different version of me. I don't remember that person. I'm not that person, and she drops the bombshell, which is like, I don't love you. Damn, that shit must have hurt. I know that boy was depressed. Fuck. But hey, at least they hang out with Ned. Him and Ned hang out. He didn't exactly tell him he's Peter Parker yet, but they hung out as Spider-Man. And MJ does a little drawing where I think she had a mask off like version, but he had the mask on in reality. But yeah, that's the end of Act 2. Act 3, responsibility and connection. Are you Spider-Man or are you Peter Parker? Both. That line was so hard. That is the best line of the movie. I don't care what anyone says. That is the best line of the movie. It kind of has like the same, in Miles in Across the Spider-Verse, it's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. It has that same oomph to it, It's just like, they really picked the perfect moments to drop those one-liners, I swear. It's like some magic trick, honestly. It's very impressive. So during the hangout with MJ, they get to talking about what it's like to be mind controlled by Jean Grey. And, MJ is just like, you kind of just black out for a second and then you just come back, like it's just like that. Like you lose consciousness for however long she has you under control and then you just come right back. Just like a cut. Like, hi, how you doing? I got mind control. Oh shit, I'm back. Just like that. And it's in this that Peter realizes the head of the Department of Damage Control, or the director, I should say. I forgot how you say his last name. Bill Metzger, whatever. Let's just call him Bill, all right? He's good old Bill, okay? But yeah, he basically lied to him by just, saying that it does something else. So yeah, Bill is the main bad guy, really. Jean is still a bit, she's a bit cuckoo, but it's really Bill that's the main antagonist here. So it turns out the DODC, after they captured Jean Grey, are doing superhuman experimentation on her and her telepathy. They're doing this on Roosevelt Island, so of course Spider-Man swings to the rescue. We found out that Jean's sister was actually killed with the same experiments because she had the same powers, and that was actually Jean's motivation for why she was doing everything she was doing. So once she found out that her sister was killed during this experimentation, she gets really angry and releases like this psychic wave that basically freezes the whole of New York in like a pretty long mile radius, actually. And yeah, basically just a part of New York. I don't think it's the whole New York. I think it's just a part of New York. They're all basically doing the mannequin challenge. Who said 2026 wasn't going to be like 2016? We was all hoping this year was going to be like 2016. Well, there you go. Mannequin challenge in Spider-Man. You're welcome. So the line, are you Peter Parker or Spider-Man? That was asked by Jean Grey while she was trying to get in his head. And it's just as the Hand, this group of ninjas that the DODC took control of, once they were taken in custody, Spider-Man beat them before. He beat their ass again with the heightened senses. Now his eyes going fully black, and just, yeah, he does some crazy moves. He at one point he went to like the ceiling, and then he came all the way down. He done like this, like if you play the Insomniac Spider-Man game, he does like this web blossom move where he just like shoots a bunch of webs around him. Just he fucks them up like real good, and I'm glad he did. So Jean saves herself, and in order for, you know, Pete to kind of, you know, like stop her from really doing something to Bill, killing him and just like becoming full villain, he's like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna allow you to connect to my mind, you know, because she wasn't able to do it before, but he's like allowing her now. So they have a moment in his brain. First, Jean talks with Aunt May in a Peter's conscious or subconscious or whatever, and she gets the kind of mother figure that she always wanted, and yeah, they have a great conversation. Then Peter comes through, and you know, they're both lonely, so he's like, you know what, you have me, you're not alone. And so yeah, that was a great moment between them. Then once all that's done with, they come back to the real world, and you know, everything's just like on Roosevelt Island, just in ruins. But the Punisher, that guy was on some JFK shit. He done set up a sniper, clear shot on Jean Grey. But Pete obviously senses this, and he takes the bullet instead, like some, get down, Mr. President, get down. And he takes the bullet. And it was like full on sniper bullet through like the chest, I think it was. His shit was, that I know that shit hurt. Spider-Man or not, that shit hurts. And so Spider-Man's in the hospital, and the whole of New York embrace him now. They love him, which is how it's meant to be. But you know, in No Way Home, they completely despised him, but he's got the city's love now. He's got New York's love. There was this really funny scene where, well, first, Pete and Frank, let's say Frank Castle Punisher, they had, you know, an emotional moment, and Frank actually cried a little bit. The Punisher cried a little bit. So Pete was like, "Whoa, you actually cried?" So that was pretty funny. But the funnier part was everyone was outside the hospital, which Spider-Man was being treated. And so he steps out as Peter Parker into the crowd, and they're all cheering like up a few floors at a window, and there's the Punisher with Spider-Man's mask on, just like doing a little funny dance, trying to entertain the people of New York. So yeah, Peter gets to feel all that love and keep his identity safe at the same time. There was also this really, really cool shot. Like, I think this was one of the coolest shots I've ever seen in cinema. It was Pete on a like a really tall building, and it's just like the New York sunset, and he's kind of like shadowy a little bit because of the lighting. It just kind of has like a can drink, maybe a beer or soda or whatever. He's just chilling. It was a really cool shot. And the last scene is in one of Pete's and Ned's hangout spots. They reconnect with their old handshake. You know, it was a very unique handshake. So the memory went of Pete, but the muscle memory didn't go. They could still, like, you know, do whatever they was doing. And you know, he introduces himself as Pete. And early in the movie, when they were hanging out as Ned and Spider-Man, you know, when Spider-Man left, MJ said his name, and Ned was like, Spider-Man's name is Pete. So I think he realized after the handshake and him introducing himself as Pete, he was like, oh shit, this is Spider-Man. So yeah, and that's how the movie ended. That's Spider-Man Brand New Day. Okay, that was a recap of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now I want to get into the review part of this video, and I just want to say my likes and my dislikes of this movie. So I've listed about 12 things that really stuck out to me in this movie, and I'm going to go through all of them one by one. So starting off with number 1, Spider-Man aka Peter Parker, played by Tom Holland, and Jean Grey, played by Sadie Sink. Now I think every actor and actress done a great job, phenomenal job. So there's nothing I'm not gonna talk about the acting, because all of it was great. The actors, the actresses, they done their parts perfectly, exactly what they needed to do. So I'm just gonna talk about the story and script and just what they had to go off of. So with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, I originally didn't like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. My favorite, obviously, Tobey Maguire. It's just, that's the OG, you know, and Andrew Garfield was also very good. I think Tom Holland's Spider-Man took a while. I think it took a while for him to grow on me. Pause. With Homecoming, didn't like him. Far From Home, didn't like him. No Way Home, with No Way Home, I wouldn't exactly say I started to like him, but I definitely had a lot of respect for him because he was actually, you know, maturing and becoming man, you know, Spider-Man. But I think with this movie now, I definitely like Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I think he, is like, I think we're finally getting a complete version of Spider-Man. I don't think we've really ever had like a complete version where we could go into every aspect of him, from the young age of getting bitten by the spider, which they didn't really show, but we already know how that goes. But we see his origins, and we go to now where he's been through a lot. But I'd say he found himself, which is why that Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and both line really stuck with me, because I feel like he knows who he is now, and that's just gonna make the next, I think, 2 movies he has left, but he's probably gonna appear in some other movies as well. But yeah, I think those 2 movies are gonna be really good now. And I mean, the next one, Symbiote, we gotta see what that's gonna be like. But yeah, if they do the symbiote in the next one, then the 6th and final one is like, well, we've seen everything of Spider-Man just and as this one person. So yeah, it's really great. So yeah, that was a like. And now with Jean Grey, played by Sadie Sink, I think she done great. It's very like felt like a callback to Stranger Things. Like her character with I still can't say that word. Telepathy, okay. But yeah, it was heavy Stranger Things vibes coming from her. But yeah, she done her role very well. But I think the issue I have, and it's kind of a dislike, is that Jean Grey isn't exactly a Spider-Man villain. She's part of the X-Men. So for her to be the main antagonist, I was kind of iffy about it, but it was unique, which I do like when they try to do something different. However, I think I also kind of prefer the, just the clean cut, straight up Spider-Man story, the Spider-Man villain, because there's still a bunch of villains we haven't seen live action. So I just hope we get more of those, to be honest. But I still think it was pretty cool, the story they were trying to tell. And that gets me into my next point with the story they were trying to tell, and that's point 2 now, the loneliness theme, which is a bunch of like mental health connotations. I think the brand new day kind of thing is like also maybe a mental health connotation. Is like, tomorrow's a new day. You might be feeling bad today, but tomorrow's a brand new day kind of thing. And I like that it showed both male loneliness and female loneliness. So with my point before, it's like Spider-Man, Peter Parker, male loneliness, Jean Grey, female loneliness. But yeah, I feel like with Tom's, his kind of fixation on MJ was maybe some kind of limerence or something. He couldn't let go of the past, and that kind of just still feeding into his loneliness. He couldn't live in the present moment, which I understand. He got done dirty. I mean, the whole of No Way Home, that was really fucked up for him, so I get it. And I think with Jean, the loss of her sister and then having no family left, no mother, that moment she had with Aunt May was also really good. So, and they kind of like to drive the theme of, you're not alone, and that kind of stuff. So with the representation of loneliness, I'd say they done a pretty decent job with that. The story they're trying to tell, they done, yeah, good job. Now, section 3, the powers, the organic webbing, and the heightened senses. I think that was very fucking cool, because I do want to see Tom Spider-Man, he gets stronger and stronger and stronger, and when he gets stronger and stronger, he becomes more respectable and likable. It's like, I want to be in my seat in the cinema. I want to be like, oh shit. I want to be excited just seeing what he can do now. It's like, that's one of the biggest things, is the powers. We need to see more of that. And with the symbiote as well, hopefully coming soon, I just want to see where this could go. Like, could this be the most powerful version of Spider-Man that we see in just like one of the main forms of media? Can this be, I think our strongest right now is probably Insomniac Spider-Man. I mean, with the second game, we all know he falls off, but the first game, that Insomniac Spider-Man, he's very fucking good. Like, goes up against the Sinister, I can't say that. What is happening? Insomniac Spider-Man, the first game, goes up against the Sinister Six, and that was crazy. So if Tom could get feats like that, if his Spider-Man could get feats like that in the next movies, it could go hard as fuck. Especially because they're gonna go against Dr. Doom. Yeah, this could be the most powerful version of Spider-Man that we have yet to see. Number 4, Matt Gargan, aka Scorpion, played by Michael Mando. Now, Michael Mando, great fucking actor. A lot of people know him as Vars from Far Cry 3. I didn't play Far Cry 3, I played Far Cry 4, so I don't know much about his role in that. I know some of his iconic scenes, like the insanity and the them or me kind of like, yeah, I've seen some of those scenes on YouTube. But where I know him from is from Better Call Saul, where he plays Ignacio Varga, aka Nacho, and he does a phenomenal job in that show, like phenomenal actor. So I liked him being in it, but what I really disliked is they should have made him like, give him more screen time and don't make him so easy to whoop. Why did they, like, they first showed him, like, Spider-Man just beat him, like, they just showed him getting like arrested at one point. And then they showed, then he was mind controlled by Jean Grey when he was fighting Spider-Man. Spider-Man had heightened senses during that time. So it's like, and he got his ass whooped like in 10 seconds. It was embarrassing. So I really wish they made him a more serious villain, a more serious threat, more competent, more powerful. And then we actually get like some better fight scenes with him, because bro, he could do, like, if they just let him, I know this man could pull off like a fucking flawless performance if they just, like, let him fly, bro. Let him fly. Bring him back. Bring him back. Let him fly. 0.5, damage control, secrets, and the hand. So secrets was what, it was like VMAX or something. I think that was just like them talking about, it was like the vent. That was the last thing that Jean's sister saw before she died. But yeah, the hand, I mean, they were kind of plain, kind of just cool, able to give Pete a cool fight scene, but I don't really find him as a threat, especially because he whooped them before. And the DODC, I mean, when it comes to humans versus like superhumans, just because they're fucking rich or they have some like device that could neutralize them, I always find it cringe. I don't feel anything towards it. I just don't fuck with it. If it's like a superhuman threat versus another superhuman threat, that's cool. I like that. I don't care about like humans. You're not standing up to them. You're not that guy, pal. Trust me, you're not that guy. 0.6, MJ played by Zendaya and Ned played by Jacob Batalon. Now, these two I think are great characters, but I think they should have been done off like No Way Home. It should have been just like finished. You know, I think with the original trilogy that Tom had, and then this next trilogy of his more grown-up self, this next trilogy, they shouldn't have been involved. Great actor and actress, amazing. They do their job very well. It's just the characters is like, it doesn't matter how well you cook the food is just not liked. I think that their roles, like the characters, they serve their purpose in the story, and they just had to be done, because we could have got like a new love interest with Tom. You know, we've had Gwen Stacy with Andrew Garfield, we've had Mary Jane, the original Mary Jane with Tobey Maguire. You know, I was hoping now we could get Black Cat. Like, that would be sick, because the Insomniac Spider-Man DLC with Black Cat, she was very interesting in that. But I think if they are saving it, then Spider-Man 5 with the symbiote, that would work. But it just seems like they're gonna bring back MJ and Ned again. So, and I feel like they're just gonna stay until the very end of Tom's Spider-Man story. So I don't know. I think their characters are done at this point. You know, they're pushing it now. They're really pushing it. 7, Punisher / Frank Castle, played by John Bernthal, and Dr. Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, played by Mark Ruffalo. Again, they were played very well. I think I enjoyed the kind of just normal interactions of them just talking. I feel like that's a lot of what it kind of was. I remember Spider-Man slapped the shit out of the Punisher. He slapped the shit out of him, and then he webbed his mouth. That was straight up disrespectful. And you know, Bruce Banner is still worried about, did I hurt anyone as the Hulk? Did I hurt anyone? It's like, bro, give out now, bro. You're the Hulk, fam. Like, you fuck shit up. We know that by now. But yeah, I ain't got much to say about them. They were cool in the movie, yeah. Great. But actually, I want to say one more thing. I feel like a lot of MCU fans are so obsessed with cameos. Like, they're just hoping, Daredevil or some shit. And it's just like, bro, can we just give it a rest, please? Like, I know you want to see your favorite characters like collide and whatever, but can we like, I don't know, do that in like Avengers or some shit? Do we really have to keep appearing in each other's movies? Like, let me have my moment. Let me have my moment. Fight scenes. Okay, so the one fight scene that really sticks out to me, again, Insomniac Spider-Man influence. He's really influenced by it. They took a lot of influence from Insomniac Spider-Man, which, I mean, if you want to follow an example of a competent Spider-Man in the first game specifically, that's the perfect example to go with. There was this one where it was like the camera work as well was so good. It was like when you finish Spider-Man, or even when you're just playing through it, there's these crime scenes that pop up while you're swinging through the city. And that's where it's like there's this one where there's like criminals hanging out on a rooftop. They might be trying to break and enter. And so, you know, as Spider-Man, you just swing in, you just beat them all up. And they done that in this movie. There was like, at the very beginning, there was this one fight scene on a rooftop. And that shit was great. It was like, bro, I know exactly where this is from. That shit was like, more of that, more of that. We need more of that. The camera work is chef's kiss. But yeah, they also showed just a bunch of villains, but they're all quick. Like, can we get like some full-on fight scenes? I mean, I think they showed the Scorpion, that was like his first quick one. Tombstone, the Hand. There was this one Boomerang guy. I don't really know who he is, but it's like, yeah, just showing those in quick succession, it doesn't really do it for me. I need, you know, I'm not full up. Pause, you know, I need more. I need to see more. Given a non-Spider-Man villain the main antagonist role, giving her so much screen time, but then these actual Spider-Man villains you don't do shit with, is kind of like, come on, are we for real right now? So with the visuals, very, very good. I don't think it touches Andrew Garfield's swinging scenes, especially in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, is very hard to replicate such literally goated scenes as like the perfect Spider-Man swinging and visuals. But the visuals, like in terms of showing the city, so maybe not exactly Spider-Man himself, even though that was done very good, just showing the city was perfect. Really just, you know, like we know we're in New York, but with the visuals, we know we're in New York, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, visuals. Perfect, love them. So I wanted to talk about point 10, the other Spider-Man. You know, we talked a lot about Insomniac Spider-Man, so I don't want to go too much into that. So I'm gonna make this really quick. There was one point in the movie, I think he was testing out his heightened powers, his senses, the organic weapon, and he makes a reference to Peter 2, which is Tobey Maguire's Peter Parker, how they assigned each other in No Way Home, because they were confused because they were all Spider-Man, all Peter Parker. So, you know, it's like, oh, Peter 2 had organic weapon. Oh, I love that guy. You know, he had it too. I love him. It's like that was pretty cool. That put a smile on my face real quick once I heard that. And point 11, I kind of spoke about this a bit before, but it kind of feels like, is this a Spider-Man movie or a Marvel movie? And you're like, oh, Spider-Man is Marvel, or Spider-Man is Sony, or whatever the fuck. But it's like, it just, I don't know, too much Marvel for me. It needs more Spider-Man. Okay, like I said, main antagonist, all the cameos with the other people. It's just like, Spider-Man, please. You're giving screen time to all these MCU people, but can we just have the clean-cut Spider-Man? More screen time for Scorpion, more screen time for Tombstone. These are interesting villains. It's meant to be street level, but you have someone hopping in mines all across the city. That's not street level, blood. That's crazy shit. That's craziness. That has to be dealt with quick. If you want it to be street level, give more time, screen time to the street level villains, please. And my final and 12th point, the post-credit scene. So throughout the movie, there's this Spidey tracker app that Ned actually built because he was obsessed with Spider-Man, trying to find out who he is. At one point, he kind of shows his old teacher and Flash as his two prime suspects, which was pretty funny. But yeah, it's just a scene of the Spidey tracker app zooming out of Queens and then into outer space. And it has the message, Spider-Man will return. Obviously, I guess, you know, talking about Avengers Doomsday, because everyone returns in that. Even I'm there. I'm in Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, I'm there. Trust me, you're gonna see me, don't worry. You will see me. I promise you. But this has, you know, a few theories about what exactly it means. So I just want to go through a few of those. So some people speculate that the Spider-Man being tracked isn't actually Tom Holland's Spider-Man, but another Spider-Man variant, maybe Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield, crossing into Earth 616, you know, as Doom creates an incursion. Another one is that, you know, with Doomsday, is Tom Holland's Spider-Man's being tracked, but he's pulled off into Battle World. So, like I said, Spider-Man will return, Avengers Doomsday, kind of just, some people think that as well. Another one is, because he's in outer space, the symbiote comes from outer space, so it might be something to do with the black suit, the symbiote, Venom, you know, so that's somehow he gets there and he gets the symbiote. Don't shoot me, I'm just a messenger. And the last theory is that it's Spider-Verse related. You know, we've had Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse. We're gonna have Beyond the Spider-Verse. You know, it could be anyone, any other Spider-Man, who knows? Just Spider-Verse related. But allegedly that post-credit scene was shot on the set of Avengers Doomsday. So yeah, I don't know which theory to go with, but you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. Okay, so now we come to the end of this review. So, overall, what do I think of Spider-Man Brand New Day? Good movie. Good movie. I can't say it's bad. I can't say, like, I could say a few dislikes, but overall, the movie is really good. Like, if you've watched this and you just heard all these spoilers, what's wrong with you? But, you know, still go watch the movie if you haven't. And if you have watched the movie, then I hope we could both agree that it is a great fucking movie. Now, what would I rate it out of 10? Out of 10 spiderwebs, how many would I give this movie? I think I'd give it a strong 8 spiderwebs out of 10 spiderwebs. Like I said, very good movie. There's just a few dislikes, which I talked about in the likes and dislikes section of this video. Especially because, you know, some people are saying this movie is perfect, greatest Spider-Man movie of all time, greatest movie of all time. And, you know, the numbers in terms of the revenue is generating, I mean, I guess if you wanted to use that argument, sure. But I think, you know, for me, I could kind of filter it out because I've seen it weeks ago now. I saw on the first day, on the first screen, and actually in my local area. And so I could filter out the kind of, you know, when you experience something new, you think it's the greatest thing ever, then a few weeks or months pass, you're like, then you have your real opinion, you know, you have like, without all the bias. And I think enough time has passed for me to filter that out and not have all the bias. So 8 out of 10 is what I'm giving this movie. So is this in my top 3, my top 5, my top 10 Spider-Man movies of all time? Is it in my top 3? No, unfortunately not. Is it in my top 5? Yes, actually, it is in my top 5. I'd put it at number 5. Because Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2, that's my favorite Spider-Man movie of all time, favorite superhero movie of all time, and actually just my favorite movie of all time. First place is Spider-Man 2. Second place is Across the Spider-Verse. Third place is Spider-Man 1, again, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And fourth place is Into the Spider-Verse, and then fifth place, I'm putting Spider-Man Brand New Day. So top 5 for me. So I think I'm giving a fair judgment. I feel like a lot of people might get onto my head for this. They're like, oh, he's a Tobey Maguire fan, but yeah, I am. Do something about it. I am. I'm just playing. If you actually think this is the best Spider-Man movie of all time, I respect your opinion. I think fair enough, because this is a really good movie. Now I want to talk about other upcoming projects. So recently I've heard that Spider-Man 3, Insomniac Spider-Man 3, which I think will be the last Insomniac Spider-Man game, unless they go some other direction. It won't be the last Spider-Man game ever, obviously. Too much money in it. Come on, let's be real, okay? It's capitalism. But yeah, Insomniac Spider-Man 3, I feel like the second game they kind of fell off, but the third game, I think they could redeem themselves. Just make it really fucking good. Make the story long. Please make the story long, and make Peter competent again. Because you're also introducing Silk. You couldn't even balance Peter and Miles. You couldn't even give Miles enough of a story or importance. But you kept having him save Pete, which has all the story importance. It didn't make any sense. Now you have 3 Spider people. You got Silk, aka Cindy Moon, Miles Morales, and Peter Parker. Is like, come on, Insomniac Spider-Man 3. Let's do this right. Avengers Doomsday. I also want to cover that when it comes out in December 18th. Which, you know, GA6 is gonna be like the whole of like, well, half of November and all of December. So I'm gonna have to like leave the house once during that time, just one time, just watch Avengers Doomsday, come back and then review it like I'm doing now with Spider-Man Brand New Day. So will we see Spider-Man in that movie? I'm pretty sure we will. I mean, if he's not in the movie, what the fuck? Beyond the Spider-Verse, oh, that one I'm excited for. The Spider-Verse movies. See, I didn't watch Into the Spider-Verse when it came out. I got into Spider-Verse as soon as Across the Spider-Verse came out. I think it was June 2nd of 2023. And I was like, why the fuck haven't I watched this before? Shit was amazing. Like, if you haven't seen Spider-Verse, go watch it. Cause I think in my mind, I was like, oh, animation is like, I watched it and I was like, bro, why haven't I watched this before? This is a masterpiece, especially Across the Spider-Verse. Like, different levels, man. The animators on those, bro, you guys are some seriously skilled people, blood. Well done. Actually, I need to applaud everyone that made Spider-Man Brand New Day. What am I talking about Spider-Verse? Everyone that made Spider-Man Brand New Day, everyone involved. Fucking legendary. You people, skilled. I like you people. You guys are artists, man. You guys are creators. And now to just the final point, the next Spider-Man movie. So we're gonna have to wait a few years, I'm guessing, until maybe 2030, probably. That's when I could see the next one coming out. Secret Wars, will he get the symbiote in Secret Wars? Will he get it in Doomsday? Will he get it in Spider-Man 5? Who knows when he get the symbiote and he finally get Black Suit Spider-Man. But yeah, Spider-Man 5, I'm very excited for that. And then Spider-Man 6 and then the end of Tom's story, I think we'll get a complete Spider-Man story for once and it will be legendary, honestly. Spider-Man Brand New Day has done his part. The story's going great. Tom Holland Spider-Man is going great. So that's it for Spider-Man Brand New Day, and that's it from me. I hope you liked this video. If you did, leave a like on it, share it, subscribe, comment down below. What do you think? What do you think about my opinions? What are your opinions? Let me know. I would love to read them, and I will read them if you comment down below. So do that right now. But I'll see you guys in the next video, maybe the next Spider-Man related video, or I'll just see you in Doomsday.